Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm filming my everyday spring makeup look today for you, so if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look, be sure to continue watching. Okay, so I've already moisturised my face and stuff like that. I'm going to get started with the Makeup Revolution Ultra Face Base Primer. I've got like the tiniest amount kind of on my hands there. So I put it kind of like everywhere because I do find that I get quite oily basically on my forehead as well as around my cheeks, but I do like to put it kind of really inside, like the crevices like of my nose and around my chin, where I do find that foundation might break away first. This is a silicone based primer. Assuming as this is a spring makeup look, the spring kind of foundation of choice I would say that I've had and love. This was my favourite last year and definitely is my favourite again this year. This is the MAC Face and Body Foundation. I really love this. It's like a more intense BB cream almost, so it's a thicker consistency than a BB cream, but you still get that lightweight feel. I do really like it and you can build it up. I'm going to use my beauty blender for this, but I'm just going to make this wet, so I'll be back in like 1 second. My beauty blender is nice and wet and you can just see how much that pretty much doubled in size. I'm just going to take a little bit and put it on my hand. I like to do this in thin layers. I'll put a tiny amount on and then I'll build it up to kind of a desired coverage. You know, this isn't going to be the foundation that you need if you're looking for a full heavy coverage, but I think for spring, it's especially for me as well, I like my skin to breathe, and not having a foundation that's too thick means I can still get like a tan, and if my freckles come through, they'll show through. Just bouncing the beauty blender up and down like you normally would. That's pretty much the first layer. Like I said, you're not going to get a very big like coverage or a heavy coverage for it, but I really like it because it looks like your skin but better, and you can add coverage where you need it with concealer after. And I'm just going to take another little layer of that and add just another layer of it. So I like to let this one kind of set for a couple of moments, but yeah, I will be putting a second layer on because I always do. That's pretty much as good as it's going to get, really. I really like the fact it is very dewy as well, the finish of this foundation. So again, it just looks so much more natural, and again with spring I just want to keep things as minimal as I can. So my next port of call is my brows. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that the NYX Eyebrow Gel is basically one of my favourites. I love this consistency. I don't know how I'm going to get on with putting my eyebrows on kind of with a weird mirror. I always end up doing it in my bathroom and such, but we'll give this a little try. So again, I just take a very small amount of the product. I normally just put it on my hand like that, and then I feather it out. I put a little bit on the brush, but I just drag it down so I don't get too much, and if there's any excess, again, I do just put it back onto my hand. Let's give this a go. I know that they're not perfect, but I will tidy these up with concealer in just a moment. I just want to make sure that basically all my sparse areas are covered, and once I've done that, then I can basically tidy them up. But for me here, it's all about getting the shape and obviously making sure that they're all filled in. That's kind of as good as they're going to get. I do have a lot of excess product on my hands. I'm just going to wipe that away and I'll be back in a very second. So I'm just going to take my concealer. Again, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that the Rimmel Lasting Perfect, or just the Lasting Finish Concealer, the ones in these little pots, are my absolute favourite. I'll be using the colour Ivory today on my eyebrows. I'm just going to do this to basically tidy them up and make sure that the shape is a shape that I'm happy with. I literally just dip a little tiny concealer brush. This is a Real Technique one. I think it was from their eye set actually, but I really like how small and delicate the shape of this one is. So I just take it in the pot, just take the tiniest amount because you don't want to go overboard. So for me, particular focus is on the tail and the arch of the eyebrow. Any leftover concealer I just like to drag down into my eyelids so that when I prime my eyelids it kind of all blends together anyway. So that's pretty much one of them there. I'm just going to do the other one exactly the same. They look pretty similar anyway, so just set what I've done in place. I'm just taking the Maybelline Brow Drama in Transparent and I'm just going to basically just comb through my eyebrows. This is just going to keep any strays or anything in the same place. My eyebrows aren't too unruly because they're quite thin, but it's still good to have it so I don't have any kind of flyaway hairs from it. I mentioned this before, but what I love about this product is that it's great at adding texture instead of taking away product. So if you're looking for a kind of spoolie applicator that takes away excess product, this isn't going to be the product for you, but this is great at adding texture to make your eyebrows look fuller. So I've been really loving that combination for my eyebrows at the moment. So next up I'm adding concealer. I'm using the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. I've been really loving this for, again, a more highlighted, brightening look. I think it does an amazing job. I had this before and I've seemed to always go back to it because it just does such a good job. So as you can probably tell, I do suffer from quite a bit of redness, as well as, look at those under eyes. Under eye circles are terrible. It's probably my fault for not getting enough sleep, but I feel like this does a really good job. So I'll do a couple of layers, but I do just bring it down like a triangle, like you've seen every other person do their concealer. I just love this for brightening my under eyes. Again, I'm just going to take the same beauty blender and just blend this all out because this is not very attractive right now. So I'm just going to add some more coverage under my eyes. I haven't been awake for very long, so they are quite prominent in the morning and they do seem to diminish throughout the day. But as far as concealer can help, I will use it. But I don't want to go too full coverage because I will later add powder and I don't want it to look too cakey. But I am just going to take some more of this and put it under my eyes. So here I'm not bringing it down too much, I am just focusing on the kind of under eye bag concealer area, the under eye area. Again, I'm just going to blend that one out exactly the same. So they're not, they're not vanished, but they are looking a little bit better. And again, I just want to keep this natural. If I wanted them to totally disappear, this would be a very full coverage look, but I just want to keep it very natural. And sometimes, you know what, they do get better in the day, so sometimes it just is what it is. But to set it, I use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, but what I actually do is I take this, this is the Real Techniques foundation brush from their Bold Metals collection. I actually dig into it like this a little, so it almost creates a loose powder. Can you see there? That basically is brilliant for getting any powder, whether you have drugstore or anything like that, making it a loose powder without the mess or having to pay extra for a loose powder, because I feel like sometimes they can be a little bit more expensive. So I kind of just DIY it by going like that and yeah, pretty much making my own loose powder. So I'm just gonna set under my eyes there. I'm just taking it kind of in my T-zone area, just because I know that that's sometimes, if I get oily in the day, that is where it's prone to getting oily, but the concentration is pretty much under my eyes. And I just love that technique. So this brush is just brilliant for getting right under the eyes, and it's great at making it kind of loose. So that's a technique I definitely recommend you all do. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyes for eyeshadow. And again, I love this. This is the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I do keep mine in the box to prevent it drying up, but I just take a little bit of this and I'm just going to put it basically over my eyelids. And remember, you want to take this if you have blended your concealer down from when you did your eyebrows. You just want to make sure that you blend this together. I just use my fingers because I think the warmth of my fingers does such a good job of just blending it all together. But I just love the MAC paint pots, whether you have Painterly or Soft Ochre. I think that they'll both do an amazing job at priming your eyes. That's pretty much it. I don't use a lot, I don't need to, but it's just going to stop creasing of your eyelids, which is basically my biggest problem when it comes to eyeshadow. No matter what brand I was using before I got into the habit of priming my eyes, it always creased. So I make sure I always do that. If you are using a primer that has a kind of tacky finish, I would definitely recommend you set it with powder before you go ahead to the next step, but I don't need to with a paint pot because it's kind of like cream to powder finish. Now for my eyes, I'm pretty basic when it comes to eyeshadow on a daily basis. I'll be using my pretty well-loved Makeup Revolution Fortune Favours the Brave palette. As you can actually see, the packaging is starting to wear off and it is dead dirty because I take this everywhere with me. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do, so I really love it. What I'll be doing is, I'll try to refer to the shades for you, so if you have this palette you can do this look as well, not that there is anything really to it. I'll be taking, to start off with, the Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush, and I'm just going to take the shade Soft, which is this one here in the bottom corner. I'm just going to be taking this one here, putting a bit onto my brush, and I'm just going to put this all over basically as a transition shade. Again on the other eye. Next up, I'm taking the shade Buffer, which is, I've just flipped it over here, but it's this one here in the brown section. It's not the lightest one there, it's the second one there. I'm just going to take a little bit of that. I'm going to use the Zoeva 230 Luxe Pencil brush, and I'm just going to take that. So I'm not focusing necessarily all that much on blending it out at this point. I am just making it basically exactly where I want it to be, and then I can blend that out afterwards. I'm just going to blend that out using the 227 Soft Definer brush by Zoeva, the one that I put my transition shade on. I'm just going to go out and buff it out. Just going to repeat those steps until I've got it to a desired kind of coverage, or just a desired colour really. I do like this palette because you can sheer out eyeshadow as well as really build it up. I'm just going to continue with that. So once I'm happy with the way that I've kind of built it up, I'm just going to take a clean 217 brush from MAC, and I'm literally just going to blend that all into each other and make sure it's how I want it. Pretty happy with that. Again, it is very natural. I'm just going to choose a all over the lids kind of colour. Today I'm going to be using, what's it called here? New World. This is one of their duochrome kind of finishes. This is it here. It's just one of the most gorgeous shimmery colours. I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Again, I like to keep it very neutral, but I like the fact this is a little bit of shimmer, so I'm allowed to have a little bit of shimmer. I'm just going to take this white here, I'm just going to apply a little bit onto my finger and dab it in my inner corners, again just to make my eyes a little bit brighter and look a little bit more awake. Apply Buffer, the brown shade that I use, and just put it under my waterline a little bit. I'm just going to take my eyeliner. It'd be, again, no surprise to any of you if you've watched any of my channels. I'm going to be using the W7 eyeliner. Next up, I'm taking my Benefit They're Real mascara. I do love this, and especially for the spring, I like really, really big eyelashes. Actually, before I do this, I am going to curl my eyelashes. Always careful not to touch the top of my eyelids too much because I don't want it to get on there, but I'm just going to use this on my lower lashes, but be very, very careful because I don't want to get any transfer from the tube onto my makeup. So I'm going to contour now. This is a 17 Define and Conquer contour kit, and I really, really like this. I know I spoke about this in one of my favourites videos, I believe, but this contour shade here is just beautiful, really, really nice. And I'll show you what I mean now. You just place the product. I don't blend it out just yet. And I'm going to take that around my jawline too. I do apologise because the sun keeps peeking through. I'm trying to hide it there. So although that looks horribly, horribly too harsh and dark, what I'll then do is use a kind of less dense brush. So this is the Real Technique sculpting brush, but obviously just their standard one from their sculpting set, which is now in their core collection. So I definitely recommend you all pick these up if it's just for this brush, because this here, I will just blend that out. How well did that do of blending it out? Take the kind of lighter shade in the duo, take a little bit of that on the Real Technique setting brush, again from their core collection, or from their sculpting set, sorry. Just take it underneath my contour, I don't know why, but I always find that it does such a nicer job of basically ensuring that it looks like your cheeks are really sculpted. To intensify that look, I do then take my Makeup Revolution Shimmer Break. This is in the colour Radiant, and I've raved about this many a time. Stupid sunlight. And I'm just going to put that right in the depths of my cheeks, so literally just here. It is shimmery, but I love that finish in spring. And I am just going to blend that out in exactly the same way. Even if you do feel like your contour's gone a little bit too intense, this sculpting brush is brilliant for literally blending anything out. Using the new Rimmel and Kate Moss trio of highlight, contour shade and a blush. I really like this highlight shade. It reminds me of a less intense Mary Luminizer, so it's good for like every day. I'm using the setting brush again that I used previously. So there's not all that much else to add. I am going to add the blush again from the trio here, because this shade has been compared to the NARS Orgasm, and although I have recently picked that up, I did want to try the two together at the same time to see how they really compare. But I'm just taking a little tiny bit of that blush. I'm really not using a lot here. Blend that out as well. That's pretty much my face pretty much done, how I do it every single day. I'm going to be using the Soap & Glory Sexy Mother Pucker lip gloss. I really like this because it's really natural and light, but it feels like you can feel the tingling sensation of the plumping action. And I probably wear this mostly every day. I will wear different colours depending on my mood or what I'm wearing, or for a bit of variety, but in terms of a fail-safe everyday lip, this is perfect. And if you haven't tried it, I think it's brilliant, so I would definitely recommend it. And it feels really strange. If you've ever tried it, you know what I mean, but it almost feels like tingling and I don't know, almost like there's something under your lips that's just like tickling them. It's really, really strange. Often do use my Pro Fix spray by Makeup Revolution. I will just go like that all over. I'll basically do that and let that set a little bit, and then I'll just go in with my beauty blender. Again, just give it a couple of minutes, but I'll take my beauty blender and just push it into my skin. So I just push it into my skin, get it right into my pores. You don't really have to worry too much about it messing up your makeup. Just be very, very gentle, so you don't want to start like sploshing it all around everywhere, because it's not going to do very good. If you just push it in, especially the areas that you have problems with, I just feel like that just completes the look really. So look itself is very, very quite easy to master. You don't need a lot of products really to do it. It's very natural, but this is my go-to pretty much every day, and I'll only spice it up a little bit by using different eyeshadows or lip colours. But pretty much the base of what I showed you is what I do every single day. So I really hope that you've enjoyed this look, and yeah, I hope you enjoy my videos, and if you do, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your go-to products for spring, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys!